Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. And well, finally, as you can see, we got, like I did call it earlier today in this video, which by the way, I just made a reaction video of the Xiao short trailer. Make sure you guys check it out on the channel. I just uploaded it. But anyways, well, I did tell you guys that the Yaoyao trailer as well as the banners have just been released. So of course we're gonna go and react to all of those stuff. And yeah, you guys know the usual. Subscribe and like the channel for more Genshin content. But yeah, anyways, in today's video, we're going to be reacting to the character demo Yaoyao Purity of the Blossoming Osmanthus. Oh, Osmanthus. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remembered. But whatever. Okay, anyway. You guys get the point. But anyways, let's not waste some time. Let's react to the video. Here we go.
Don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today. Come on, let's get a move on.
Aww.
Oh, spear training is really kind of boring. Maybe I'll go play with Yaoyao for a little bit.
I really like her design.
Do some more training after I've had a break.
It's adorable.
I grew up in the mountains. Auntie Cloud Retainer, Uncle Mountain Shaper.
Oh, so she's like kind of like part of Deptai.
I've met loads of
Well, I don't know
them.
if she's really a Deptai. She says she grew up with them.
Difficulties outdoors, then let me help
Aww.
you.
Wow, okay. Music's really good.
You're up.
Aww. I think it's so adorable. Oh, so Bloom, as you can see.
Ready, go! Why do so many people make such a big deal out of seeking the Adepti? There's Adepti everywhere, isn't there?
Aww. Cute. Alright. That was really wholesome. Let's move on to, you know the drill, the JP. Alright, here it is, the JP. Let's go. Oh, that's what she sounds like. Okay, yeah, both is adorable. Both is adorable. Both are adorable. Dude, it would be so smart for Genshin if they made the Yugui, is that what it's called? Her like bunny as Yaoyao as part of like her merchandise, the Genshin merchandise. It would be so cool. Like a plushie or something. Also, Dragon's Bane is actually, I think, could be a really good weapon for her. Depends if she scales to the end, though. Aw, look at that. Very cute. Both English and Japanese was really good. I really like the music too. It was actually a lot different than what I expected, because I was thinking like, oh, they're gonna go with like a more childish kind of theme, but no, they straight up went with the, you know, the nice Leo aesthetic. So yeah, man, Leo is goated. Well, you guys know what's next. We're gonna go and react to the new upcoming banners. Let's do this. All right, so before we go into the banners, pre-installation has just been released from the time of recording of this video, and yeah, make sure you guys start pre-installing your Genshin, because that should be soon. And I guess here's the preview for everything. I already like read all this from the previous video, so here's the stuff they just posted. This is like the new stuff that's coming in 3.4. We're gonna get a new area, the desert of Hadramaveth. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but this looks awesome. They mentioned like how there's something to do with like the sandstorm in the desert, and then maybe if we go inside it, I think there's like a cave. It's kind of like similar to the chasm. I'm really stoked for that. Obviously the new characters that are coming, and we'll talk about those in a second. New domains. Oh, we're getting 2 new domains. Awesome, because of the new zone. The new weapon, I already talked about that. And the new outfits, which by the way, oh my god, I need this one on the left, but both I'm getting though, obviously. And a new main story, and yeah, that's pretty much, looks like a lot. That's a lot of stuff, but it's pretty much everything that's coming. Let's move on to the upcoming banners. Okay, my bad, guys. So actually, I was going to do the banners first, but then they posted Yaoyao's thing, like her kid just now, and it wasn't uploaded at the time. And yeah, we're gonna go on, you know, just briefly look at what Yaoyao does. So here we go. Yugui, you're up. Okay, so we got the burgeoning grace. Burgeoning? Wait, so she's a burgeon support? Interesting. From what I could tell though, they briefly said she heals, right? So that's already big news. That's big for me. So let's see what we got here. Oh, look at that. So here is the personal information. I'm gonna make this bigger for you guys. All right, so vision's obviously Dendro. Constellation is Osmanthus wine. The weapon is polearm. Yes, awesome. And affiliation is Streetward Ramblers Abad. I don't really remember what that was. The birthday is on March 6th. Oh, great. She gets to celebrate her birthday this year. Awesome. The English voice actress is Kelsey Jeffer. And Japanese voice actress is Karawaki Mai. So shoutouts to the voice actresses. Alright, so let's read the info real quick. Yaoyao is a Dendro support character who can heal one or several teammates as needed. Yes, finally. She can use her elemental skill in her elemental burst to summon Yugui throwing mode or Yugui jumping mode. Okay. Which will continuously throw exploding white jade radishes that will heal characters or deal Dendro damage to opponents. Alright, so here are the essential materials preview. So we got the... Oh, finally! Wait. No, never mind. I was gonna say this was the one from Samara, but I think this is just the Julian chili, right? Okay, never mind. I think it's the same exact local specialty as Xiangling. And, okay, yeah, this is not that surprising, but we got the Dendro hypostasis. Makes sense to me. And then she uses slimes. Okay, this is gonna suck ass for some of my other accounts, but slimes is easy. Slimes are easy. We got the talent level materials, and the book she used is Diligence. Alright, cool. And the boss material is going to be Raiden. So unfortunately, you do need to have Act 5 for Samara done and unlocked, so you're able to level up Yaoyao's talents even further from level 5 to 10. Alright, cool. Let's look at her talents real quick. So this is her normal attack animation. Let me look at this again. So standard. Oh, that's a standard polearm charge attack. But let's look at her normal attacks. Adorable. She's like barely able to lift it up. So she has 4 consecutive. Yeah, probably not that important. Let's go into her regular skill. Oh, it's fast. Okay, that's kind of good news. Okay, so this is interesting. So it seems like this thing, the Yugui, is targeted only one target at a time. Because if she does... Oh, okay, so that's what they meant by throwing mode versus tap mode, I guess. Tap mode, I'm assuming, heals. And then throw mode, it just applies Dendro and attack enemies. And also 1 orb. 2... Oh, okay, it's not bad. She could be a Dendro battery. Could be. Is it going to be as good as Awesome? Well, I don't think so. Just based on... It seemed like every 2 hits, she generates like 1 orb. Which isn't bad though. Hold on, let's look at this one more time. Although sure, but let's see. 1. Alright, 1, 2. Yeah, see, every 2. Yeah, it looks like it. If it's that consistent, it's not bad. Actually, that's pretty solid. So we got the Ramphus Sky Cluster. Calls upon Yugui throwing mode, a special device created by this certain adeptus to help Yaoyao solve her problems. This skill will be used differently in holding mode. So enters aiming mode to adjust the throw direction. Yeah, that's just the holding mode, but when you're in the throwing mode, throws out the white jade radishes that will explode upon hitting characters or opponents, dealing Dendro damage to opponents within a certain AoE and healing characters within the same AoE based on Yaoyao's max HP. Okay, so she's an HP scaler. If radish does not hit either an opponent or a character, the radish will remain where it's exploded on contact with the character or opponent, or will explode after its duration expires. Explode. Huh. Okay. Yugui throwing mode will choose its radishes throw targets. So it's auto target mechanic. If all nearby characters have... Oh, so this kind of condition. Okay. So like Bennett and Sayu. If all nearby characters have more than 70% HP remaining, then it will throw that radish at a nearby opponent. Okay, so what I said earlier about, oh, if you throw this and it'll target this or that, just disregard what I said earlier. So it has this, instead it has this 70% above HP or then below mechanics. So yeah, I'm assuming when you have more than 70% HP, you're gonna throw a radish nearby opponent. Yeah. And if your characters have nearly 70% or less HP, it will throw a radish at the character with the lowest HP percentage remaining. No opponents exist nearby. Yugui will throw white jade radishes at a character when they all have more than 70% HP and less than 100% HP remaining. Oh, cool. So it's like you can like heal a bit more if there are no opponents nearby. That's nice. Otherwise, it will throw radishes into the area at random. Oh, okay. Okay, a maximum of 2 instances of Yugui throwing mode can exist at one time. Cool. So you can have 2. Interesting. I wonder how long her skill cooldown, or yeah, I wonder how long her skill cooldown would be. If it's frequent, then she's gonna be actually pretty good for Dendro application as well as healing. And I'm assuming this is the burst. Oh my, that looks hella fun. Okay, hold on. Moonjade Descent. At the enjoyment of a certain Adeptus, Yugue's full potential can be unleashed in an emergency, dealing Dendro damage to nearby opponents, and entering, in some sense, unsurpassed Adeptal legacy state. Okay. So, White Jade Radish's generator will be changed to heal and then deal damage according to the skill. Explosions will heal all nearby party members, and the Dendro damage that deal will be viewed as an elemental burst damage instead. Summons Yugue jumping mode at intervals until their limit has been reached. The behavior of this version of Yugue is the same as that of Yugue throwing mode in the elemental skill. Ramphus Sky Cluster, a maximum of 3 Yugue. So instead of 2, when you use her burst, you get the ability to get 1 more Yugue, and jumping mode can exist at the same time. Interesting. Okay, so just to break all this down, basically explosion will heal all party members, as well as the Dendro damage dealt will be viewed as elemental burst damage. So if you want to make her elemental burst damage dealer, as looks like what it seems here, I guess 4-piece emblem artifact set will be a viable set. What else do we have here? Okay, so nothing there. So Yaoyao, so here are the effects from the burst, I guess. Yaoyao's movement speeds increased by 50%. Is it only Yaoyao, or any? I guess it's just Yaoyao only. Because like if you just swap to another character, I guess you don't gain that movement speed. If it was like the active character that gains movement speed, that would have been like a pretty nice support. But it only seems to be like Yaoyao. Yaoyao's Dendro resistance will be increased. Okay, interesting. So it seems like they want you to play Yaoyao on field while she's using her burst. So maybe the only reason I could see this being useful though, with the Dendro resistance being increased, is for like Bloom teams mainly. So a big one example would be like Nilou team compositions, with how she generates Dendro cores so fast, and the explosion is all instant as well. It would definitely help negate the damage a bit more when Yaoyao has her Dendro resistance increase as well as healing. And I think Burgeon as well, this would be helpful. Hyper Bloom, this is not that relevant. So the Adeptal legacy state will end once Yaoyao is off field. Oh, okay, never mind. So like what I just said, you definitely want to stay with her on field, and you know, that's just, I guess that's how you want to play her. And you know, if you don't, then obviously all this passive is gone, and all remaining Yugue jumping will be cleared once the state ends. Oh, okay, so yeah, it depends how long this is. You definitely want to maximize her healing, all these buffs with her as much as possible. So I can see her actually being a solid Bloom support / healer. And I guess that's it. Okay, interesting. Okay, so I'm actually kind of surprised with Yaoyao's kid. She's actually a lot more, there's a lot more depth to her kid than I thought it would be. I thought it was just gonna be like, oh, she heals this and applies Dendro and boom, which is what she does, but she plays this summonable Yugue character a lot more, you know, there's a lot more meaning to it, if that makes sense. So like applies Dendro based on, you know, how much HP you have, and also heals. She scales with HP, also can summon more than 1. And, you know, when her burst, she can summon it at most at 3. That's gonna be nuts. So, what do I think about Yaoyao overall? I really don't know, but... Okay, only thing I'm really worried about is, like, if her healing is good enough, and if her uptime is for Dendro application as well, also ICD. Those are the main 3 most important fundamentals for a support like Yaoyao. And if she is as good as, you know, she looks at first impression, I think she's gonna be a buff for aggravate teams or Quicken teams. Because what I see with the problem with Quicken is that Quicken doesn't really have a Dendro healer or a shielder. Like no Dendro support besides just off-field application, which we currently have Dendro Traveler for or Kale, but none of them offers defensive utility like healing or shield. So if Yaoyao can give enough healing as well as Dendro application, she actually could potentially be probably the best 4-star Dendro character we've gotten. We don't know yet. I mean, we don't know yet. It still could be crap, and it just could be like just a niche Bloom support, but who knows though. I mean, I'm just really excited to see her potential. Yeah, I guess that's my take on Yaoyao. Honestly, I think she looks fun. Even if she doesn't look that great, I think she looks fun to play, and yeah, that is my take on Yaoyao. Also, this is her full portrait art, which by the way, look at the boots. Adorable. And the giant bells on her hair too. Very nice. Okay, so now we can talk about the banners. Sorry about that, guys. They didn't upload her kit, but they uploaded the banners first, then the kit, so I kind of like got the orders mixed up. But doesn't matter. We got what we wanted here, which is Alhaitham. He's finally coming. He's probably like one of the most popular characters in Sumeru right now. We're gonna just talk about Alhaitham and Xiao and all the other rate-up characters here if they are worth summoning for, as well as the weapon banner. So stay tuned. Here it goes. But before we start with this segment, I just wanted to let you guys all know, just gotta put a little disclaimer as always, that everything I talk about, all about these banners, are all intended for meta or for those who are just considering to summon or not to save their primos. That is really mainly about it. But if you don't care about any of that, you're just a casual player, or you just summon based on like your character's favorite design, that is totally fine. And you know, that is all that is really important in the game. In the end of the day, you can clear anything in the game with any characters. So we're gonna start off with actually the 4 stars first, and then we'll go into the 5 stars. So we got Xinyan. She's the strongest power damage dealer in the entire game. You should 100% get her. She's actually even more worth using than Alhaitham. Okay, no, obviously I'm joking, guys. Please don't take anything I just said there seriously. So Xinyan, okay, for real though, if you don't understand my sarcasm, Xinyan's like one of the worst, arguably the worst character right now in the game. What she does is she basically offers a power shield. She can also deal physical damage, and that's mainly it. She does scale with defense as well, so I guess she has that on the plus side for being defensive character. However, it's just her role as a character, there's just like better options. Toma, for example, as a pyro shielder, and also has an actual viable team he can be used, like in Bergen, for example. Or a physical damage dealer, literally Razor is better as a physical damage dealer. Although I could be proven wrong, and you could probably equip like way better gear that's suitable for Xinyan than Razor. And also physical is not that great as of right now, unfortunately. So yeah, Xinyan is, I'm sorry to all Xinyan mains, and I'm sorry to Xinyan herself, but she's just not that great. Kind of already an L for this banner, but let's talk about the next few characters that could probably compensate for that L. We got Yunjin, and she's a no more attack damage buffer. She's one of the first few supports that introduced a niche supporting mechanic. So her kit mainly surrounds her elemental burst, where she gives out a unique damage multiplier buff. So in other words, she just basically enhances normal attack damage dealers. So she's really popular to use with Yaoyao or Ayato. And I have a feeling she also could be a good character to use with Alhaitham. I actually never really thought about that. So, yeah, Yunjin, great character for what she does in her niche. However, like what I just said earlier, you have to know what you're doing with Yunjin if you want to maximize her full capabilities in her kit. Her niche is also her downside, which makes her not that flexible with other team compositions. So yeah, that's Yunjin. And then Yaoyao we just talked about. Honestly, Yaoyao, already based on her kit, she looks pretty solid. So I don't think you necessarily even need to summon on this banner just for Yaoyao, because already, if you guys forgot, you can actually get all 3 of these characters in the upcoming Lantern Rite event, which you can choose. Well, not all 3, you had to select one of them, but you can choose one for free from the Lantern Rite event, a free 4-star of your choice from Liyue. And I'm assuming most people will pick up Yaoyao since she's the newest Liyue character. But if you're gonna go for constellations and you're, you know, already set for summoning for either Alhaitham and Xiao, then yeah, I think Yaoyao is gonna be fine. We don't know what her constellations does, but all I know is that Yunjin's constellations are good, Xinyan's is alright, but hopefully Yaoyao's constellations are good. But we'll have to wait and see about that once she comes out in the game. Alright, so we can talk about the 5 stars. Here we go. We already know about Alhaitham. We just briefly looked at his kit, and yeah, Alhaitham looks like he looks more than just DENDRO Keqing. And already, if you just hear Keqing by itself, for those who's been aware, actually Keqing's even meta right now for aggravate DPS. She's like arguably the best right now. So if Alhaitham is very similar in terms of playstyle and damage with Keqing, then honestly Alhaitham's gonna be a very solid damage dealer. Again, like what I said, he does a lot more than just being a DENDRO Keqing. He looks like he's actually going to deal a lot more damage with his elemental burst. So his elemental burst will play a huge key part in his role, as well as his whole stacking mechanic. So we'll have to wait and see how all of that works. But for now, Alhaitham Wanners, I think he's going to be a very good pickup. Especially since we don't really have that many spread damage dealers either. I have a feeling he's going to be a very, very fun DPS to use. But for, I guess, other people who's just like 50-50 on like, oh, I kind of want him, but I kind of also want to save for the upcoming banners, then in my opinion, I think you don't necessarily need Alhaitham, because already a standard 5-star character that is very similar in terms of playstyle is Tainari. Well, not playstyle, but like I guess in terms of doing damage is similar. Tainari, he's a more of a range spread damage dealer, and again, he's always available in the standard banner. I guess all you have to do is get lucky. But I might be wrong though, but I don't think Alhaitham's going to be like insanely strong, but I think he's going to be still like a very, very solid damage dealer to use, especially since, you know, there's not much spread damage dealers right now. He's going to be opening a new pathway for DENDRO damage dealers. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for Alhaitham, and yeah, that's my take on Alhaitham. And your boy Xiao. So Xiao, he hasn't, well, actually he's kind of changed because of, well, the recent 4-star support that's came out. And other than that, Xiao really hasn't changed that much in terms of like his playstyle or his build. Just basically, he is an AoE damage dealer. He's actually the first one that came out, and he's very well known to deal high plunge damage over and over, and it also does AoE. What's his biggest strength is, well, AoE animal damage. So already, for those who has no idea, animal, once it creates reactions with the 4 main elements, it swirls, so he's also a powerful shield breaker as well. And yeah, the more you play Xiao, the more you can actually master his attack combos. He actually does become a very strong damage dealer. And plus, if you have a certain support character that is at C6, Xiao becomes, honestly, arguably competitive with the top damage dealers in the game. So overall, Xiao, he's still good. However, he is kind of in an awkward position because, well, Wanderer just came out with Farazan, which, you know, Farazan is mainly built for animal damage dealers like Xiao. But people, I'm assuming that summoned on that banner would have been mainly for Wander. So it is kind of weird. Unless you got like Farazan and no Wander, then you can go for Xiao. That's perfectly fine. But I'm assuming if people got both Wander and Farazan, then I don't think you necessarily need Xiao. Unless, you know, Xiao's like, you know, your favorite character, then obviously go for him. But overall though, Xiao, he's still the same in terms of damage. Except if you have like Farazan at C6, but same thing as Alhaitham. I think these two are actually pretty close in terms of damage dealing. Although that's all just a take, but you know, don't take that for my word. But I'm just saying that in terms of like value, these two are kind of the same. It just depends on like what type you're struggling with the most. If it's either like, oh, you want to deal DENDRO damage, you can go with Alhaitham, or if you want to deal with animal damage, you can go with Xiao. Although both of those are kind of like, again, a little bit weird in terms of like the elemental side. You have the main 4 elements, right? Electro, Hydro, Cryo, and Pyro, right? Those 4 I feel like are the most important. Then probably below that will be like Animal and then DENDRO. They're more like, there's sub elements, but they're also really powerful for supporting. And then there's Geo down below. But yeah, so overall, as a damage dealing element, these two characters are kind of funny in terms of like, again, based on their elements doing damage. But overall, I feel like these two characters are more for like those who are just really want Xiao, or for those who really want Alhaitham. Then I have a good feeling that these two characters are very good for those who are wanting to main them. But for those who just are more interested in like DPS, then there is a lot more variety in terms of DPS. We just don't know about Alhaitham's damage capability yet, but however, he looks like he's going to be a pretty solid spread DPS. So yeah, overall, those are my take on the upcoming banners. So what do I think about them? Personally, I think I would skip. Because first of all, you can get all these 4-star characters from Liyue, and Xinyan and Yunjin are kind of old already. Yaoyao, you can already have a chance of getting her for free in the upcoming Lantern events, so you could keep that in mind. Unless you care about constellations and you don't mind spending, that is fine. And Xiao and Alhaitham, they are good, but they're not like as good as, you know, for instance, Kazuha, Raiden Shogun, Nahida, etc. So yeah, that's my take on that. I personally think that these banners are, it's not the greatest, but it's alright. Alright, so here is the weapon banner. So I already talked about the Alhaitham sword in the previous video. Oh, actually, we could just look at it again, just for the sake of this video. But yeah, let's talk about the 4 stars and obviously the 5 stars. So we got the, okay, well, starting from the right side, we got Pain Slasher. I mean, it's actually not bad. It's actually, okay, actually, it's not that bad. It can be used on certain characters. D-Look 2, Reverse Wave D-Look, that works too. It's not bad, but it's not great either. It's just more of a niche Claymore. And Claymore, unfortunately, there's just not too many Claymore characters right now that could really use this. Oh, it's also a Sayu weapon too. I didn't really think about that, but yeah, it's just, again, like what I've been saying, Claymore just doesn't have too many Claymore characters right now that have good usage for most of the weapons that are available for Claymores right now. But yeah, it's alright, I guess. We got the Wit Sith, which everybody already knows at this point. Wit Sith is arguably the best 4-star catalyst in the game. It's insane. It offers 1 out of the 3 buffs at a time, and all 3 buffs are really high in terms of stats, and the substat is high crit damage as well. It's a very valuable 4-star weapon that I feel like everyone should have eventually in the game. However, I wouldn't summon just for that on this banner. You'll see why. We got the Lithic Spear, which Lithic Spear is actually really good. There's a lot of polearm characters in this game, and Lithic Spear is like one of the strongest polearms, especially with high refinements. The more value you get, and yeah, it's actually, you know, good for someone like Xiao, for example. It's an insane weapon on Xiao, or like a lot of other polearm characters that needs to do damage. Basically, for those who have no idea, it's like it has this passive where the more leeway characters you have, the more attack and crit rate you get. So as you can already tell from that, that's already pretty OP. But yeah, Lithic Spear is good, and it's the only limited gacha 4-star weapon series here anyway, so that's not bad. We got the Flute, which it's a pretty dead weapon, I'm not gonna lie. Flute is not good. And then we have the Sakubo, which I already mentioned the other few videos, that Sakubo is really good for supports like Diona, or someone just basically that needs a lot of particles that can use their elemental skill twice. So yeah. Alright, so we got the Primordial Jade Wing Spear, which, you know, is a standard 5-star weapon for those who have no idea. And yeah, it's basically Xiao's still, I think, his best in slot weapon. And that's about it. I don't think this is anyone else's best in slot as of currently right now, besides Xiao. That's about it, really. I don't really have any issues with this weapon. It's actually pretty good. It has a crit rate substat, and passive is also pretty good. It's just that, you know, it's a standard 5-star weapon. So again, I wouldn't pull on this weapon banner for those who really wants this weapon for Xiao, because Xiao has other weapon options. And another thing is, you know, this is a standard 5-star weapon, so you can eventually get this along the way while summoning on the standard banner. Yeah, Primordial Jade Wing Spear, it's okay. It's not bad, but it's not worth summoning for on this banner. Alright, we'll go over this one more time. So I already kind of broke this down in the previous video, but I'll just briefly go through this. So base attack is 542, that's pretty low for a 5-star weapon. Crit damage is 88.2%, that's really high for the crit substats. So as you can see, they've been doing this trend where they made the base attacks a lot lower than the substat, which is pretty good. Especially with the passive here too. Crit rate is increased by 4%. It's only 4% though, so I don't know why they did that. After normal attacks deal elemental damage, the Flyer Extension effect will be obtained, increasing damage dealt by normal attacks and elemental skills by 120% of elemental mastery. So basically, you get buffs of normal attacks and elemental skill based on your elemental mastery, and it's 120% at R1, so that's pretty good. And at R5, you get at 240%. That's pretty good. And this effect will disappear once you deal 28 times damage or 12 seconds. So, and then you regain it back every 12 seconds. So yeah, overall, this is a pretty good weapon for Alhaitham, obviously. And I also think this could be a very strong weapon for Kaching. And that's mainly all about it. Unless we get more elemental mastery scaling units, this sword as of right now will just be a powerful crit stat stick. I think this is currently the highest crit damage sword, I think. So yeah, this is still going to be a useful sword to use on most sword characters anyway. So yeah, pretty nice. Alright, so that is my takes on the banners. So overall, what do I think about this whole banners lineup? I think it's personally all skip in my opinion, because the upcoming next banners I feel like are gonna be insane value, unless like, you know, already have like Hu Tao and Yelan, which those two are upcoming next. The next banner lineup is gonna be big, but you know, for those who just are interested in only for Alhaitham as well as Xiao, then that is fine. I'm pretty sure that Alhaitham is going to be pretty strong, and Xiao is also strong as well, and he's also gotten a recent buff from a certain character. So yeah, but I think it's just weird, you know, because the Lanterite is going on, and all these 3 characters are available in the Lanterite, but Alhaitham and Xiao, it's totally up to you. This is more of like, you know, if you really need a damage dealer, then you can pick up Alhaitham or Xiao. Both will be fine. But yeah, I guess that's all I'm gonna do for this video. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys hit that like button as well as subscribe to the channel for more Genshin content. I guess all we're gonna be doing for this week is wait for Alhaitham's character demo, and yeah, I guess if you guys are excited for that, make sure you guys turn on that notification bell as well. And that is everything I have, so thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, until next time, stay epic and peace out. Nice back.